Once these books started to come out, there was a number of people tried to. There's just a general description in Vitruvius. Let me just find the one. There's a general description in Vitruvius. Here's the translation. The navel is placed in the centre of the human body. Blah 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 blah. His navel is at the centre. A circle. It can be described. Touch his fingers and toes. Not only a circle, but a human body can be placed within a square. So everybody went to work trying to place a human within a square and a human within a circle. And the most famous one that's come down to us of all the people who tried is the one by Leonardo da Vinci. What I was particularly interested in is this one here. The distance from the top of the head to the bottom of the chin is 1/8 of a man's height. So the head, which I consider to be the moon area, is 1/8 of the size of a square. 1/8 of the size of a square. It's from a book you can buy it, Vitruvius on architecture. It's available in the shops. Also, a little bit later on, he's writing about something, and he writes about Pythagoras. That's the second time he's been mentioned today. CCXV1, he writes, the number of lines on a cube, according to the people of Pythagoras and those who followed him, was 216 lines. Anyone know anything about the number 216? That was just a mention in a book by Vitruvius. We'll come back to 216. He's a drawing by Cornelius Agrippa, 1486. Same time as Leonardo da Vinci. He's done it pretty much better than Leonardo da Vinci. Again, he's trying to put a human body inside a circle. He's used a pentagram. You can see the medieval signification of the sun here and of the moon here down by the genitals. He centered the body on the genitals. You could then draw possibly a square around that. You can see that he's working on the Vitruvius thing. Look, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I can't find anything in Agrippa's writings that he even realised that he was looking at the days of the week there, but he may well have been. 216 is the size of the moon. If you look on the internet, the British statute measure for the size of the moon is 2,160 miles in diameter. So we're looking from one side of the moon to the other is 2,160 miles. If you knock a zero off that, then you get what Vitruvius was talking about as his number of lines in a cube. So if this is 216, then if we give 4 moons, 4 times 216 is 864. I've done this before. 864. Look on the internet and you'll find that the sun is 864,000 miles in diameter. Standard size of the sun. There's 4 moons across. I can draw a sun in this slot here, which is in direct relation to the size of the moon. So it's 4-to-1 relation. The real size is 400 to 1? 40 to 1? 400 to 1. The real size of the sun is 400 to 1, so it's a little bit difficult to put a 400 to 1 ratio size sun on there. When you draw this sun in here, 864, here you have a moon here, 216. It gives you a teaching about the relationship between the sun and the moon. All we need to do is to multiply this one by 100, and we know its relative size in terms of the moon. And we also have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sorry, not Saturday. What?
Nana.
Nana's Day, yes, thank you. It would have to be a woman who said that. Nana's Day, I hope you're going to use Nana's Day in the future. I certainly have started doing it. If you multiply those moons, 216, by 8, you get 1,728, which is 12 times 12 times 12. This number here on a pentagram in mathematics is determined by the constant of phi. PHI. Not the constant pi, but the constant phi, which is P, the Greek letter spelt in anglicized to PHI. Now, the phi, anyone know what the phi constant is? The phi constant is 1.618034, and the easy way to do this is to measure, when you measure from this point to this point, or this point to this point, or this point to this point, whatever the longest part of the pentagram, if you make that 1000, then this extra bit is always 618 units long.
Did you say it's
So,
sorry,
yeah.
did you say it's 1.6?
1.618034.
And is that the golden mean as well?
That's the golden mean.
Yeah.
That's how you determine the golden mean.
Right.
When they say the golden mean, usually they just drew it down the side of a thing like this, so it meant where the mean would be the middle, but they drew it along the side of some square or something like that. But in terms of that proportion, that every pentagram is determined by that number, 1.618034. Now what I've got here in British miles is a square 1,728 across, determined by the size of the moon, and you can put this little pentagram, this pentagon inside, which has 1,618 point whatever, 034, whatever it is, but it's an exact constant sitting in the middle of this strange Da Vincian diagram that has the British statute measurement system of the Earth, of the Sun and the Moon standing over it. I met up with John Michel in Jerusalem. This is the walls of the city of Jerusalem. Here's John Michel's drawing of his measurement of the temple. Most people see the temple as somewhere around here, but he made it 60 times larger, measured the distance from the Jaffa Gate on one side to the Messianic Gate on the other side. Thanks for the sandwiches. Yeah, I gave him a jar of Marmite, which is always good for travelling British men to get as a present. Here's the distance that he measured across this area of Jerusalem. Now you know it's been built on over thousands of years. We're talking about something 3,000 years old. How many houses, how many times has it been flattened and rebuilt and destroyed? But he still maintained that these gates, this one particularly and this one particularly, were maintained because he as John Michel is, he's an astroarchaeologist of some renown, and he's looking at megalithic possibilities of looking due east. So he's thinking that this gate was here. This is the ancient Roman camp, and nothing much happened to it. They've looked at David's Tower, which is here. His idea of the distance across this was 1,728. And that's exactly the same as the distance across this square that we were looking, oops, not that square, this square here, which is 8 moons across.